It was her first time ever, staying in such a remote place, alone. Her old friend said this cabin belonged to his family and was empty most of the season, right on the edge of a hunting range. And when she arrived, early on a misty morning, she found it was perfect. Decorated like a rusting hotel, as if tailor-made for a forest getaway. Dropping her luggage on the bed, getting the Wi-Fi password, even though she didn't intend to use it much. This was about silence, being away from the internet. That was until night finally fell over those mountains, and the window outside the cabin was the endless dark of the forest. She'd stayed in many hotels on her travels, strange places, stayed with friends in some shady apartments, but this felt different. This was over an hour and 45 minutes from even the nearest gas station. But she put that out of her mind and settled in to watch the cheesy romance movies she had lined up. And then the drizzling rain began. Relaxing at first. But between the thunder and rumbles, she heard something. It sounded like a longing, wailing groan outside, between the sounds of rain. It stopped when she tried to listen closer, right at the edge of her perception. Faint. But even that, she tried to forget about. The microwaved TV dinner called her name, and the microwave beeped. And then, with that loud beep, she heard it again. A groaning, wailing outside. That sounded like a high-pitched whale call, something you do not want to hear, deep in the woods. This time she heard it too clearly, too close, and she stood to stare at the dark window of the kitchen. Her spine chilled, stone cold, as she saw it. A pale, rounded, slumping face pressed against the glass, as if a bulbous man had fallen asleep against it. But it was the middle of the night, raining in the forest. No pale, obese man should be pushed up against her window. She resisted screaming, and instead backed away into the living room, around the corner, hoping whatever that was had not seen her. All those stories about strange, human-like things in the forest, and she'd just seen something she can't explain. She peeked around the corner again, to that kitchen window, and there was nothing. Gone, just the endless, drizzling rain and the pitch-black night. Her mind raced. Maybe it was the allergy pills she took, or just lack of sleep. So she locked her bedroom door, double that night, barring it with a chair and blocked the window, until she turned to see the window she had not blocked yet on the other side of the bedroom, and she heard a sudden thump, and there was a face, lumpy and pale, slumped against the window, like it had just fell forward. That was enough. She sprinted from the bedroom into the garage, and the engine of her truck roared to life. She drove out into the mud, her windshield wipers fighting the rain, and didn't stop until she made it to the fishing and tackle store in town. The first place she saw. She called her old friend and tried to explain what she kept seeing. And her eyes grew wide, and her heart frozen, as her old friend said, "Oh, him. Just don't try to feed him, and don't go outside to see him, and you'll be fine."